The real way McDonald's makes their money. When it comes to fast food, McDonald's is the ultimate king in this regard. McDonald's works on the golden principle of providing quality service, cleanliness, and value, which attracts their customers worldwide. Desires do not respond to the economic downfall, but your bank balance opts for cheaper alternatives. That's why chains like McDonald's comes into play for providing quality food. From 2008 to 2010, McDonald's added 600 new locations with improved and better quality as compared to the past, with an impressive 29% ROE, and stands out from their competitors. When you start defining the area of McDonald's, it often begins with Ray Kroc, the native of Chicago who had the vision to launch Speed Service System. Speed Service System successfully launched in 1948 and was the idea from two brothers, Richard James and Maurice James McDonald. Later in 1954, Ray Kroc became the franchise agent for their franchise, opened the first McDonald's franchise in 1955, and in 1961, bought out the McDonald brothers for the sum of $2.7 million. After a small gap of 8 years, the enterprise has expanded its range to about 38,000 restaurants worldwide that served a population close to 70 million customers daily, all wishing to have a burger or fries or chicken nuggets within no time, and emerged as the QSR. In the QSR category, many other famous restaurants fall, like Taco Bell, Wendy's, and KFC, but McDonald's stands out as the winner of QSR, fast food for most people. In 2018, McDonald's emerged as the most valuable chain with a brand value nearing $1.26 billion. And in 2019, their brand value reaches the amount of $130.36 billion USD and total assets of $47.5 billion USD. McDonald's has decades of experience buying and selling properties. It knows the precise ingredients of a successful location. Essentially, McDonald's makes money by leveraging its product, fast food, to franchises who have to lease properties, often at large markups, that are owned by McDonald's. In 2019, as reported, 36,059 of the 38,695 restaurants were franchised with McDonald's, operating the remaining 2,636 restaurants. So approximately 93% of total capacity are franchises that are still below McDonald's long-term goal of 95%. The advantage of this model is that the revenue stream is far more stable and, most importantly, predictable, while the operating costs are measurably lower, allowing for an easier path to profitability. McDonald's, because it has control over the land and long-term leases, can leverage its market position to negotiate deals. As has been noted by analysts, this is akin to a subscription, where the subscriber pays a fixed amount each month. It shops around, usually for intersections between two high-traffic roads, and buys a place in whatever corner has the most parking. This is how they introduced this concept of drive-through to the world. The ideal space is around 50,000 square feet, and the building space usually covers the area of 45,000 square feet. McDonald's has notoriously strict criteria for its franchisees. Additionally, the franchisees are also responsible for paying salaries, ordering supplies, and paying rent or owning the premises. When someone applies to operate their own McDonald's location, they sign the company's franchise agreement, stipulating nearly every detail of how the business will operate, from how the burgers are cooked to the hours of operation. For example, they can only purchase from an approved supplier, who may or may not be the best, cheapest option. The franchise, that is, the local owner generally makes a total upfront investment of $1 to $2 million for a single location, including an initial payment paid in cash, a one-time franchise fee of $45,000, and a percent royalty of every month's revenues. These, usually 20-year contracts, also have the unusual but high consequential stipulation that the restaurant is located at a specific address, the one restaurant the corporation just bought. The average franchise tends to pay an average of 6 to 10% of its sales in rent, while McDonald's franchisees pay 8.5% to 15%. If a location fails to perform as expected, McDonald's can simply find a new franchise for that location after the contract has expired, or sell the land to someone else entirely at profitable rates. The franchise owner will accept all the restrictions because this is also profitable for them. McDonald's differentiates three markets: the U.S., international operated markets, and international developed licensed markets and corporate. Each sector accounts for 37.2%, 54%, and 8.7% of revenues, respectively, as the company's most recent annual report. The U.S., the company's largest segment, with revenues of $7.843 billion in 2019. International operated markets include Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Russia, Spain, and the UK. This segment had $11.398 billion in revenues in 2019. International developed license markets and corporate comprised of the development licensee and affiliate markets, plus corporate activities. This segment had $1.836 billion in revenues in 2019. In 2019, the free cash flow of McDonald's was $5.7 billion, a 36% increase over 2018. And global comparable sales increased 45.9%, and global comparable guest counts increased 1%. Total revenues decreased in 2018, but that percentage from franchised restaurants rose, which is reflective of the transition to a heavily franchised business model. Revenue from franchised restaurants was $11.1 billion, which is over 50% of McDonald's total revenue and a substantial increase over 2017. Operating income was lower than what was reported in 2017, which was skewed by gains from the sale of assets in China and Hong Kong. Excluding these, operating income rose by 2% in 2018. Operating margin increased, which would bode well for future franchisees. McDonald's has a track record of paying dividends on its common stock for 43 consecutive years, and even more impressively, increasing the dividend amount every year. The 2018 full-year dividend of $4.19 per share reflects a quarterly dividend paid for each of the first 3 quarters of $1.01 per share, with an increase of $1.16 per share paid in its fourth quarter. This increase in the fourth quarter divided can be viewed as McDonald's confidence in the ongoing strength and reliability of its cash flow, which is a validation of their business model. The company is expecting to achieve the following goals in the future: system-wide sales growth of 3 to 5%, operating margin in the mid-40% range, earnings per share growth in the high single digits, return on incremental invested capital in the mid-20% range. McDonald's has managed to stay comfortably ahead of its main competitors like Burger King, Wendy's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, etc. in the fast food arena, but its key challenge might just be a consumer who demands healthier, organic menu choices coupled with fast food convenience. Fast food shall always be as stable industry as any. People need to eat, and when they want their food fresh and fast without having to spend unnecessarily. That said, the industry does face challenges relating to a shift in demand towards healthy eating. A restaurant chain that sells familiarity and consistency needs to recognize that those qualities themselves are enormous assets. Even when McDonald's has an underperforming year, it's still profitable. When operating at its peak, it must have stock in any comprehensive portfolio. If you watch till the end, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next video.